People share all kinds of experiences about their rabbit space, what their home environment looks like, how much space should be given. Should they free roam all over the house? And if so, how do you bunny proof? That topic is so full of great information and conflicting information that sometimes it's really hard to understand why it's so important. Let's talk about the biological consequences of not giving a rabbit enough space and get a little deeper into that topic. We're tempted to focus on people who keep rabbits in tiny cages or cramped living spaces. We talk about cruelty, overcaging, and why rabbits need room to run, jump, and play. But those conversations often become emotional, and before long, someone's going to say, well, these rabbits aren't pets anyway. They're different. From there, what could have been a helpful discussion quickly goes sideways, or it's dismissed entirely. Instead of arguing opinions or methods of best care for these animals, let's take a look at the biology. The anatomy of a rabbit is remarkably well documented, and so are the physical consequences of keeping these animals in spaces that are too small for them. When you understand what's happening beneath all that fluffy fur, it becomes much easier to explain why adequate living space isn't a luxury, it's a biological necessity. The need for space does not distinguish between a rabbit being used for companionship and rabbits that are used for other purposes. The biology is the same for both. Before I get into the biology, let me mention something personal. I have hands-on experience with rabbits that were rescued from owners who overcaged them. You already know Beatrix Helena from my prior videos. Beatrix was forced to live in a cage from the time she was just a little kit. Eventually, she was rescued from her first owner, who had a backyard meat breeding operation for giant rabbits. She spent her beginnings in cramped conditions, being picked up by her ears, generally treated in a way that was harsh, to say the least. Beatrix and I have gently worked on her aggression and her trust issues. She's come a long way in the years I've had her, but there's one problem with her that I've noticed. Her ability to get up to full speed and run smoothly, as rabbits should, is diminished. Her biological need for space was taken from her when her bones and muscles were still developing. The effects on her body are something she still lives with today. Beatrix's story isn't unique. It's just one example of why strict confinement of animals can have a devastating consequence later in life. A rabbit's skeleton is incredibly light, making up only about 7 to 8% of their total body weight. In contrast, their hind leg muscles are massive powerhouses designed for explosive speed and high impact changes in direction. A rabbit's anatomy is all about survival. In the wild, a rabbit doesn't just walk. They sprint. They leap and pivot to escape when predators are chasing them. When a rabbit is confined to a cage, a cramped hutch, or other too small living space, that powerful muscular engine is completely shutting down. Without the space to hit a full sprint or fully extend their hind legs in repetitive motions, their muscles begin to atrophy. Rabbits are naturally active animals. They're built for constant movement. In the wild, they run, jump, dig, hop, and these activities help them find food, water, mates, and shelter. Movement is essential for building and maintaining strong bones and muscles. Overcaging or frequent confinement allows the bones to become thin and fragile. According to documented research, rabbits can suffer with osteopenia and also osteoporosis. Osteopenia in rabbits refers to a reduced bone mineral density. This means the bones are less dense than normal. It's often an early stage of bone loss. Mineral content is diminished, which makes the bones more fragile. Osteopenia can progress into osteoporosis if the underlying causes, including inactivity, are not addressed. Osteoporosis in rabbits is a more advanced form of bone disease where there's a significant loss of bone mass and density. This can lead to fragile, weakened bones. Weaker bones are even more prone to fractures. In the case of osteoporosis, even light trauma can fracture a rabbit's bones. Remember, a rabbit's superpower is hiding pain. This is due to their prey animal nature. Expressing pain or illness makes a prey animal appear weak, and that makes them an easy target for predators. If you have a rabbit with this condition, you might not recognize it immediately, but you can watch for signs that they're having trouble with normal movement, like running full speed and jumping. To sum it up, the lack of regular, high impact movement causes a rabbit's bone density to drop significantly. Keeping a rabbit confined in a cage or other small area leads to brittle bones and weak joints. It also causes a severely degraded quality of life. You can provide a safe, open indoor room, or better yet, give your rabbit access to a long hallway so there's room to jump and play freely. This helps prevent muscle and bone problems. If you're able, provide a securely protected outdoor space where they have plenty of room for those much needed activities every single day. When you give a rabbit enough space for necessary activities, you aren't just giving them the luxury of a happy life. You're keeping their skeletal system and muscles from literally deteriorating. Let's talk about the gastrointestinal and heart connection in rabbits. The benefits of wide open movement extend beyond just muscles and bones. It's the literal fuel for your rabbit's complex digestive system. GI stasis, or gastrointestinal stasis, is something that experienced rabbit owners are mindful about, and so are veterinarians. GI stasis is a shutdown of the gut. When a rabbit's gut muscles stop moving, a series of health events occur rapidly, and the rabbit can die. What many people don't realize is that physical exercise is a primary driver of healthy gut movement. That gut needs to keep moving constantly, which is one reason we provide unlimited access to hay and fresh water. When a rabbit runs, stretches, and plays, the physical movement of their body helps stimulate the smooth muscles of their gastrointestinal tract. Exercise keeps the digestive assembly line moving, preventing deadly gas buildup and encouraging a healthy appetite for hay and grass. Rabbits also have a high resting heart rate, typically between 130 and even 300 beats per minute, depending on the source. But the point is, these animals are built for cardiovascular bursts when movement needs to occur quickly, such as evading what the rabbit perceives as danger. When they're denied the space to elevate their heart rate through natural exercise, their cardiovascular health can suffer, and their bodies hold on to chronic stress. If you want a rabbit with a robust digestive system and a strong heart, you must provide an environment where they can safely reach top speeds. According to one study done in rabbits, wild rabbits are highly athletic creatures and are built to move fast. Daily exercise has been shown not only to strengthen muscles, but increase heart and lung function. It also helps a rabbit build resistance against stress. This study cites that domestic rabbits develop problems when they're denied access to the natural exercise their bodies need to function properly. Now let's talk about the mental and emotional transformation, which is the absolute foundation of healing a rabbit with a harsh past. In the wild, a trapped animal is a dead animal. When rabbits are kept in small cages, their prey instincts trigger a constant state of low-level panic. It can also cause deep depression due to the fact that they have no route of escape, which is also a base need for these animals. The more time that passes, the higher the chance that they'll become aggressive, territorial, or even emotionally shut down. When you open up the walls and give rabbits a large, safe space, you change far more than their surroundings. You change how they experience the world. Space gives rabbits something they desperately need: the ability to make choices. They can decide when to explore, when to rest, when to approach you, and when to retreat to a place where they feel safe. If you've ever watched a rabbit that came from an abusive, neglected, or overcaged environment, you've probably seen this transformation. As the rabbit begins to realize he can run, jump, binky, explore, and simply be a rabbit, the confidence starts to grow. Little by little, his nervous system shifts away from constant survival. You begin to see curiosity, playfulness, and an increase in trust. Every joyful binky, every sprint across the room or the yard, and every relaxed flop is a reminder that rabbits were designed to move and not merely exist inside of a cage. When we honor their biology instead of restricting it, we don't just improve their quality of life, we give them the opportunity to become who they were always meant to be.